A beer tax hike. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and well, let's check out this article, which is highlighting the recent hike in taxes on alcohol. Isn't it awesome? We're in the middle of a cost of living crisis. People are having to scrimp and save to pay for their petrol to go to work, where the tax was just increased. They're trying to make ends meet, paying that mortgage that has gone up. Remember, the rates weren't going to go up until 2024, eh? I was talking to a neighbor who was worried about coming off coming off her fixed rate. And, well, the increased cost of living that will encounter. And yet here, once again, we have another tax increase. Isn't it funny how taxes, it's so easy for the government to index them so they go up twice a year in some cases. But the different thresholds for the tax rates don't increase with inflation. They aren't indexed. I wonder why that is. I wonder why one is the method they use to extract money from people is optimized and efficient. Yet the one which will reduce the burden they place on us to make it fair and reasonable isn't. Do you think this might have something to do with why current generations are also having a harder time getting into property? The burden of the state. I wonder. So let's go through this article, guys, because, you know, and people will say, I mean, you can complain about, oh, look at Labor, we're getting more tax increases. And people go, oh, would have been the same with Liberal. Yeah, both of them are just as bad. That's why they've set it up like this, so they can say, oh, it's just programmed to happen. So, and this is a few days old now, so it's not new. You're probably already paying it if you've gone out for a beer. Beers, spirits, and pre-mixed drinks. So there we go. There's my lazy beer? Or lazy bear, rum, and lime I had the other day. I said to be more expensive from Monday when federal taxes on alcohol are hiked yet again. And this is a sin tax. It's a bad tax. You shouldn't be drinking. I mean, alcohol is there's nothing healthy in it for you. Okay, all of that stuff about wine and omega-3s, that's all been disproven as bullshit, shockingly. But, I mean, after a hard day of work, who doesn't like cracking open a nice ice-cold beer and just enjoying it? You know, so long as it doesn't become a problem, you're not drinking excessive amounts, you know, where's the harm? And yet, it's sticky. They'll take advantage of the fact that people want a nice relaxing beer. These are the little luxuries. But there you go, guys. The pay rise is due to the federal government's excise on alcohol, which automatically rises twice a year in February and August, and is determined by changes in the annual inflation rate, currently 4.1%. So if this excise is increasing twice a year, perhaps the tax-free threshold should increase twice a year at the same inflation rate. Why not? Oh, you got to love it, don't you? Just even going to relax and have a beer. I know I'm shocked every time I go to the Bottle-O, which isn't that often. And usually, for a live stream or something, we've got an event happening, and I'll go and buy a 6-pack of rum and coke, or dark and stormy, or even just some pale ale, and it gets expensive. Or even if you're just getting, the cheap stuff, like Forex or VB, it's gotten expensive too. You got to get some imported shit to get really cheap beer, which I think I got some weird Chinese beer last time. Wasn't that bad, actually. Under the changes, 1 litre of pure alcohol will now be subject to $101 or $1 and 1.85 cents of excise, up from $1.05. So there you go. From Monday, tax on a pint will increase to 90 cents while the tax on a slab will rise to $20, according to the Brewers Association. $20 of your beer. I wonder how much of Australia is being funded by these sin taxes. By booze. By smokes. Next time you see a smoker, thank them for helping fund your primary school for your kids. With budget papers forecasting the alcohol excise is set to rake in almost $7.9 billion into government coffers this financial year, Federal Minister Kathy Gallagher last Thursday said the price hike was a regular occurrence. See, this is why. There's no outrage, there's no anger. It's just a regular occurrence. It just happens. Well, we've got Labor in power, aren't they? They're meant to be the good guys, you know, taking care of the little people, easing the cost of living burden. What about the stereotype of the tradie wanting a carton of beer? Oh, well, you got to get taxed on that. It's just a regular occurrence. We can't help it. Yeah, dum-de-dum. All of these things add up, guys. Bit by bit, they add up, and they put more burden on the average person. In relation to the indexation arrangements that are around alcohol, this is something that happens. This happens as normal course of business for governments of both persuasions. These are the tax arrangements that remain in place. This is it. See, exactly. Well, we should be angry at both governments of persuasion for setting this up to just constantly increase. More of a burden on the average Aussie. However, Miss Gallagher, was she not married? Did not rule out altering excise rates in the future amid the current cost of living crunch. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't be betting a carton on that one, lads. We look at these matters every budget. We look at what's possible and what's affordable. Wine is not subject to the alcohol excise, with the wine equalisation tax applicable instead. Oh, isn't that nice? They've got their own bloody thing. So, let's have a bit of a chat about this, guys. Now, the reason I wanted to look at this is I noticed there was another article discussing a pint of beer at like $18. Nearly $20. It'll be sooner than we realize where you'll be shelling out $20 for a pint. No, maybe $20 for a pot. Oh. I still find it funny when I, go to a bar and I ask the barmaid or the barman if they remember, do they still do dollar shots? And they look at me. Dollar shots? You mean $5 shots? And I go, nope. I'm showing my age. That's back at uni. Well, here you go, guys. Even the little things you have to relax, they're taxing the hell out of it. I'm sure the government knows how to use that money better than all of us. It's not like you wouldn't want to save a little bit of money and maybe invest it to have some passive income or help you save a deposit a bit faster to get a home. No, they're going to berate you. They say, no, bad, no beer for you. That's the Australian way, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. How long till we see $20 pots? As always, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.